countries have borne much of Tehran's response after the United States and Israel started striking Iran. Drones have struck Dubai and Abu Dhabi, with Bahrain and Kuwait also reporting damage. Speaking on Monday, Kuwait's emir condemned Iran's attacks on his country, where 12 people have been killed so far, insisting on Kuwait's full and inherent right to self-defence. Well, apart from strong words condemning Iran for the strikes, the Gulf states have not responded to the strikes yet. Let's speak to Dr. Ahmed Kuzai, who's a politics expert at the N7 initiative of the Atlantic Council, a non-partisan policy development and convening platform dedicated to improving cooperation between key US partners in the Middle East and also around the world. Thank you very much for joining us. Can you explain then the position of the Gulf states at the moment, given that they have been attacked by Iran?
Yes. After all the bombardment we've been receiving from Iran lately, mostly we are practicing strategic restraint. As you can see, I mean, the Gulf states often avoid direct confrontation with Iran over the past at least 50 years, right after the Islamic Revolution. We have a lot to lose. We have a lot at risk compared to other states in the region, as you can tell, around the Middle East. Of course, it's not easy to give all that up just for, 10 days of bombardment. Now, everybody is expecting the Gulf to retaliate, but we have, as I said, a lot to risk. First of all, we're talking about the economic dependence on stability. We are talking about the oil, we're talking about direct investments, we're talking about even the foreign investments that are of foreigners that moved to the Gulf lately. Just to give a hint of what we're talking about here, if we're talking about the Qatar's GDP per capita, we're talking about $76,000 compared to the same per capita in Iran, we're talking about 5,000. So this tells us how much Iran is willing to risk, as much as how the Gulf is trying to protect its infrastructure, its investments, and its future as well. We have the reliance on external security guarantees. Here we could take the CCPA as a really good example, whereof we are depending on our allies to encounter and to save the day as much as we're trying to save it as well. From there, we're talking about internal and regional calculations that the Gulf states are making together. We can't make decisions on our own, each country on its own. And last and foremost, basically, the fear of escalation into an open war. So far, I understand Iranians have been bombarding us, but so far, this is not the maximum they could do, and we don't want them to escalate as well.
We've just had a statement reported to us by the Reuters news agency from the Qatari Prime Minister saying that the Iranian attacks hinder mediation efforts. So we can understand the position from that statement alone of where they want it to go. So to what extent are the Gulf states aligned with the US and Israeli objectives when it comes to the future of Iran?
We are aligned, but not 100%, that's for sure, because we care more about our region and our stability. That's the most important aspect here. So even if we are aligned to a high ratio, but it's not 100%, that's for sure. And the second important thing is, how long will this war last? Because as you just mentioned, the Qatari statement, and which is followed by the Kuwaiti, the Bahraini, and the Saudi one over the past few days, here we're talking about the maximum limit. I'm not sure how long we'll be able to take these hits, which won't differentiate from an open war later on.
Ahmed Kuzai, thank you very much for joining us from the Atlantic Council. We appreciate your time.